Today we're talking about how we assess vacant land for purchasing here in Colorado. This is something that my team and I do specifically. Stay tuned in to get a chance to hear all about it.
Hey guys, I'm James Dean, team leader of the James Dean Mountain Homes team. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Just really quick before we get into the meat of this video, I just wanted to make sure if you haven't done so already, hit that subscription button down below, hit that notification bell. That keeps you updated on all the new videos that we have coming out weekly. We've got several that come out each week on this channel, so please stay up to date with that. Also, if you've got any questions whatsoever that are real estate related or just in the community, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and give us a call. You can either call us at 719-266-2725. You can text us to that number as well, or you can email us at info@jdmret.net. Please, whatever you got to do to get those questions to us, please ask. We're here to help. We're here to provide value to you and helping you make informed decisions, whether you're looking to buy or sell real estate or just typical questions for the community out here. We are local experts in this area and we love this area. So please reach out to us, and we hope you guys enjoy this video.
Okay, so today we're talking about land. Now, land is one of those interesting things that you can definitely come up on that might seem like it is too good to be true, and we're going to talk about some things to kind of watch out for. Now, I'm going to caveat this video with number one, I'm not an attorney. I'm just a licensed real estate agent that works here in the mountains that specializes in the mountains too. So there's things that we're always looking for, and I'm also not a builder. I'm not a construction manager. I'm not anything along those lines. So we'll guide you along depending on what your needs are and what you're doing. Now, I'm going to start with this caveat. Now, there are some pieces of land that are out here in Colorado that have been subdivided illegally. Now, that doesn't mean all land is, but that's definitely one of the first things we're going to look for, is trying to see if it was subdivided correctly or not. Just because it's on the MLS does not mean that it was subdivided correctly. There might be an agent that doesn't really understand what they're doing out here that could have listed that without understanding they just listed an illegally subdivided piece of land. Now, I say this because I have this conversation with clients all the time, both sellers and with buyers. Sellers trying to subdivide their land, buyers trying to buy smaller pieces of land. Now, in the state of Colorado, you have to go through certain specific specifications to be able to subdivide a piece of land or a lot smaller than 35 acres. You heard me right. I said 35 acres, not 0.35, not 3.5 acres. 35 acres. So if you wanted to easily subdivide a piece of land, it's got to at least be 70 acres so that you can have two 35-acre pieces of land. Now, I tell you this because you can get a surveyor out there, you can tell them exactly what you want, they'll survey it, they'll mark it, they'll pin it, they'll even set up a plat for you within the county, and they will tax you separately for that piece of land. That does not mean that that piece of land is a legally subdivided piece of land. Where most people find out that it is not a legally subdivided piece of land is when they go and they try to build on it or they try to put a well on it. And when they go to apply for that permit, the folks that are going to be looking at those in the county are going to see that it wasn't legally subdivided. They're going to deny it. And what that person essentially bought was a $40,000 expensive campsite. And that's something that they're going to then try to offload or figure out. And they're not going to be able to figure out how to do that easily or ethically. Myself, I am not going to help somebody sell something like that because that's not a legal piece of land. That's one of those things too. You need to make sure you've got an actual agent that knows what they're looking for and who to ask and who to talk to try to do that due diligence and help you get to that decision point of whether or not that piece is correctly subdivided or not. Now, some easy things to be able to get into to be able to see if it is or not. If it's in a subdivision, more than likely it is subdivided correctly. More than likely. That's not an always as well. When I start seeing like lot 1A, 1B, and 1C, that starts raising questions as well. And I start asking questions when I see those types of pieces as well. But when it's a solid like lot number 2, lot number 3, lot number 4, that's more than likely a legal piece, but we'll still do some digging and help show you and guide you where you need to be able to ask those questions and make sure you're not about to spend a lot of money on something that you're not supposed to be able to build on as well, because that's absolutely not something we want to have you go through. We also get sellers a lot of times that like, hey, I've got 10 acres, I want to split that up into 10 1-acre parcels. Sorry, you can't do it. Now, that's not a guarantee, it's very difficult. You're going to need an attorney to do that, and it could take quite a long time. When I say quite a long time, 1 year to 2 years to try to go through that entire process, to spend all the money on the attorney fees and everything else that you've gone through, plus the time, only to be told no. The ones that are out there doing this, a lot of times, they're the developers that have got these systems, that got them in place, they're purchasing land because they know what they're going to do to it. They're able to present that stuff to the county, and a lot of times they will do that to see if they can get that preliminary approval, or at least find out if it looks like it will be able to have that done before they even purchase it. They're doing their due diligence. You as an individual buyer need to be doing the same thing when you're purchasing a piece of land out here too. So that's one facet of it. Other facets of it too is making sure you know where your water source is going to be. Are you purchasing a piece of land that allows wells to be drilled? Or are you going to have to put a cistern in? We're also looking for things like buildability. I'll tell you this, you could build anything you want to anywhere if you have enough money. Most people do not want to do that. They don't want to spend millions of dollars to build a $200,000 house on a piece of land that looks like this, just to have it on a slope. So those are things that we're going to walk you through and talk you through. And when we hit to certain points and we're just not sure of things, depending on what portion of the possibility of building you're in on that piece of land, we'll start getting you connected with some builders so they can come out and help assess those too. Now, a lot of these builders, you got to understand, they're pretty busy people as well. And if they've got time to, sometimes they'll be willing to come out there. A lot of times they're going to require some sort of a fee to come out there in order to get their expertise on what's happening with that land itself and what's going on with that, especially if you don't have any kind of existing relationship with them beforehand. But flatter land is more buildable. Land that doesn't have massive boulders in it is another thing we're going to be looking at. And it might not even be a piece of land that you think is very sloped, but when we start looking at grades for driveways, what you've got to realize is that the county is going to permit driveways based on whether or not a fire truck can get actually to the structure or not. So you've got to build it with certain types of turns. It's got to be certain limitations on grading so that a fire truck can get to the house and put that fire out. That is a code requirement when you're looking at getting a driveway permitted to be able to build your house on. Another thing that we see people do a lot, and it's just something that it always breaks my heart when I see this, is we get folks that come from out of state and they just don't understand how expensive it is to build up here. So that's another thing that we start talking through and explaining to folks. This isn't as simple as building back where you've got flat land and it's easily accessible to building supplies and labor and everything else. Building up here in the mountains definitely comes with a premium and a cost to it. So that's something that you definitely need to sit down with the builder so you can understand those and what those look like, so you have a realistic set of expectations for what you can plan on as well. Overall though, land can be a lot of fun. It can be very interesting. You can find some pretty good pieces. There's not a whole lot that's left out there. Every now and then you see one that's got spectacular views. Just know we've had enough people buy up here. Those are definitely going to be a lot fewer than ones that don't have spectacular views. So don't come out here thinking like, I'm going to find the holy grail every piece I look at. It's going to take some time looking for those. We guide our folks through that. We guide them through our process of how we work with that on the land side. We help them work the negotiations. We help guide them along on the due diligence side and who to talk to, who to go with based on what their needs are, what they're looking at doing with that land as well, to ultimately come to that decision of, yes, this is going to be a perfect piece for us and we want to purchase it. So I just wanted to give this basic little educational knowledge on what happens when you come out here and buy land. Oh, there's something else too. If you're coming from somewhere that's a lot flatter or back east, the Midwest, I don't think this happens as much out west, like out towards California, but I know where I'm from, originally out east, you could basically move in a place and be like, hey, land typically goes for $10,000 an acre and know approximately what that land's going to cost. That is not the case in the mountains out here. Different lots are going to have very different degrees of what the value is on those, because of slope, buildability, accessibility to roads, all kinds of things, views that go into that can definitely have an impact on what that land's value is as well. So just some food for thought. But if you got any questions, you're out there, you're thinking about purchasing land or whatever, and you need some professional help, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to be able to help you on that. Love to be able to help guide you on that too. So hope to hear from you soon.
Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that video. And once again, before you sign off, make sure you hit that subscription button and notification bell down below. That will keep you updated on all the new videos that we have come out that are here to inform you and help keep you updated on what's happening here, both in the community and in real estate as well. And once again too, if you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to give us a call, 719-266-2725. You can text us at that number as well, or you can email us at info@jdmret.net and we will get back to you as quickly as possible to answer all of those questions. We're here to serve you and we look forward to helping you soon.